I think people are still recovering from what they learned from you the last time you were here. Good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Nice.
There are two Kojos, so good morning, Kojos. Let me say it right.
Good morning, Ransford. How are you?
By God's grace, I'm doing well.
So, well, it looks like people are very busy destroying their employers' businesses for their personal gain, and the ways in which they do them are so varied. Now, we weren't able to get into all the different sectors and types of businesses that experience employee fraud the last time you were here. And so there are many more examples, aren't there?
Yeah.
Talk us through a few of them.
So, Kojo, let me take this opportunity to say good morning to your listeners again. Employee fraud is something that nobody or no business is spared. And from banking to aviation to telecom to even our domestic, helps. There was a lady who had a house help. She had lived with them for 2 years. One Saturday, she served a notice, I'm leaving this afternoon.
Hey.
They said everything. She said she's leaving. It's okay. Go bring your things and let's go drop you at the station. The bag she brought out compared to what she brought in years ago. So they decided to search the bag. Kojo, to shock you what they found. Provisions enough to set up a business in her hometown. So the kids who she's supposed to be taking care of are supposed to take a tin of milk every day. There are 3 of them. She was using a tin for them the whole week or 2 weeks before they would drink one. The rest are being stored for provision business meant for the village. So your liquid soaps, your confectionaries, the drinks that your kids are supposed to send to school, where are they? In a mechanic shop, you see very hard, and you see the people who do these things are the very hard-working ones. The very hard-working ones. The ones whose hard work will take your eyes off their tricks. So you go to a mechanic shop, big place, very hard-working young man. He goes to test your car with you and says, boss, if anything, call me. Don't worry, our boss. This thing you see, if you bring it here, it's very expensive. We know how to get it for you. Imagine if your apprentices are pushing your customers away, giving them this advice. You'll be there thinking that they are not stealing any of your spare parts. They are not stealing your lubricant. They are not stealing your money, but they are pushing your customers away. This is very dangerous. Gradually, your business is going to shrink. There was a young man who was a supervisor at the laundry, and I used to send my things there. So one day he told me that, oh, boss, don't be coming again. When you have clothes, call me. I'll come and pick them up. And I was excited about it, so I started calling him. Now he came once, twice with a van for the laundry, owner. And I noticed that the receipt he was giving me was different. So I became very curious. One day I closed from work. I wasn't feeling so well. And I drove to the laundry. And I said, I've come for my things. And the woman said, hey, Nana, you haven't been here in ages. What we found out was that this young man had gone to set up a laundry somewhere. And he was going around picking the customers' items with the woman's van, using the detergent and the other items to wash them and distribute to the woman's van. So you'll be there and then you see that your business is shrinking. Because what most people know is that, oh, they have stolen my cash. They have stolen my goods. But the diversions and the business shrinkage strategy, we don't pay attention to them. Now, let me be very quick to say that in everything there is risk. So I don't want people to get scared that, oh, so it means that we should close all businesses because of the risk of fraud. No, there are solutions. There are 4 main ways to handle employee fraud risk. The very first one is avoidance. Don't do the business type at all. I had an experience with a gentleman who said he was going to do transport business. He had brought about 10 vehicles for transport. And when he got to know that people were using taxis that had been purchased for carrying cement and other things, he decided to sell the cars. That's a clear example of avoidance. If I'm going to buy a car for you to pick human beings, and you're going to go to the market to pick sacks of cassava, and I'm the one going to buy the spare parts, I'm the one going to maintain this car. Option number one, avoid that business if you can manage the fraud risk.
Is that not the easiest option?
Yes, the first one. The next one, transfer the risk.
Okay.
So, the insurance companies who have products such as employee fidelity, packages, that anytime that my employee runs away with my vehicle, you give me my money back. I'll pay you something every year. It's an option. Okay. Transfer the risk. Now, apart from the insurance, there are some people who have time, resources to manage some of these people for you. So you give it to them to handle that aspect of your business. The third category, which we will get to, is that you need to mitigate and deal with the risk yourself. And that is the solution we're going to. Last but not the least, you accept it the way it is. You don't do anything. Do the business and expose yourself. I don't recommend the last one. There are people who are risk takers. So I want to do transport business. I have brought about 50 vehicles. I don't care what happens to anybody running away with my car. I'll continue to pray and ask God for favor so that only good people will come my way. Every morning I'll do a devotion and leave the rest to God. I will mitigate it. But if you really want to deal with these things, Kojo, you have to be very intentional. You see, what makes fraud different from the other financial crimes is that there's what you call concealment. An armed robber will not go to the street and shoot people and later take all the bullet from the floor. I don't want anybody to see that I have robbed. But what is unique about fraud is that there is an aspect of concealment. That whilst the person even wants to start taking your pigs away from the farm, he wants to conceal the activity so that nobody will detect it. What it means is that if you want to deal with fraud, you need to be intentional about it. The key question I ask, how many businesses start thinking about the things we are discussing? It's an afterthought. When the worst has happened and the guy has run away with his goose, that is when he begins to talk about it. Others will even be very quiet because they are very ashamed. One of the worst things about fraud is that when it happens to you, you sometimes feel so stupid that, what was I thinking all this while? That my pigs were dying on Tuesday and waking up on Wednesday and I didn't notice. So that emotional torture alone is a reason why we need to deal with these things. Now, if you decide to mitigate it, there are chains of solutions you need to consider. The first one, you need to have a no-nonsense approach towards your business. Some business owners entertain so many things. Oh, this one this one is my church member, this one is my akunta brother-in-law. So there's no, culture of ethical standards within the environment, and people do what they like. The first thing you need to do is to ensure that environment is a no-nonsense environment. Because you've gone for loan to go and establish that business. You've gone for loan to buy those vehicles. That printing press you have started, it's money. And you need to take away all the relatives, friends, family and friends, church people, and manage it as a business. The next thing is that if you don't have time, then you don't have any business going into business. If you don't have time, then you don't have any business going into business. What I have seen from fraud examination over the years is that business owners are sitting in the capital, sometimes the Golden Triangle, Accra, Takoradi, Kumasi, and they throw money to the farm. Oh, we need feed. How much do you need? Throw to the farm. And that guy at the farm is the one who is assessing what we need. He's the same person telling you where we are going to get it from. He's the same person receiving the money to go and get these things. He's the same person receiving the items back. Now, from that transaction, where he's even doing the needs assessment, where we need 5 and he says we need 50, are you there to check? Do you even have knowledge on what it takes to do what you are doing as a business? So, somebody has started. I'm told there's money, Sikawum, and then you started. And this guy who you have sent over there, whoever is on the ground knows more than you, Kojo. Anybody who is on the ground, he knows more than you. So far as you are not on the ground, you are vulnerable. So if you really want to do this business, then one, you have to research. The next thing is that you have to keep proper records. Remember, it was the records of the WhatsApp messages that was analyzed to notice that the pigs were dying on every Tuesday evening. So if you don't keep records for you to even have the opportunity to analyze, remember that there will be trends. You notice that, okay, it is every first Friday of the week that I am called to say that we have shot these items. It is because you have kept records of when you are bringing in supplies, when you are sending out goods, and we can go to that record. Because see, even if you decide to hire somebody to do an examination of your space for you and there are no records, it will be hearsay. And you go into an environment and you ask them, can you give me the schedule of your drivers? I think it's a Kokodo the Otaiba Tuesday. The fair one is the one who comes on Tuesday. He doesn't even have a schedule. So when there's an activity and you want to even circulate those who could have done that, there's no schedule. Because remember that if every time we are going to deliver goods, because I have seen tankers of diesel disappear on the road before. They swapped it. So they say, hey, we woke up and then, the diesel has leaked on the compound. 3 days. We've seen that there was a leakage. The diesel was swapped. So what do? The drivers who have been moving these trucks and the car registration, if you don't have time, don't go into this. Because you need to properly look at what you are doing and get somebody who would look at the corners and tell you that, seal this place. This allowance that you have given through this back door, even though you think that it's very convenient for items to come in, items will leave from that side and you wouldn't know. And like I mentioned to you the last time, I have seen a very big, store, warehouse, where curtains were there. They were counted every Friday. They call it stock taking, but they were counting empty curtains. It was the day the man was knocked down by a car and he was sent to the hospital that another person came and they said, we need 30. And he just went, carry this one empty, carry that one empty. And they noticed that they have been having a Dakato in that warehouse. Okay. So you need to be very intentional about these things. Again, you need to employ technology. You can't be doing your business like 1932 business. If it is a transport business, put some trackers, do some geofencing. Oh, this car is supposed to be in Takrady. If the car leaves Takrady, Papa, you have an alert that your car has crossed where it shouldn't cross. And you call the driver and say that, hey, where are you going? I have seen you at Efia Kwanta. Where are you going? You know, one thing about fraud management is that, and every fraud examiner is trained, the first thing you are taught is that increase the perception of detection. Immediately, you let them be aware that me, if you do it, I'll find out. It reduces the opportunities that they have. So, tools, we have geofencing, we have cameras, we have trackers. You need to install some of these things at your location. There was a time I had some old cameras that were not in use. I decided, should I throw these things away? I decided to install them somewhere. An attitude change. The following week, some people resigned because cameras are in now. They cannot be making money again. But those cameras were dead cameras. What did I do? I only increased the perception of detection. So at the end of the day, if you let them note that it is only the last Friday of the month that Kojo comes to visit the factory. The last Friday of the month, everything will be intact for you. And you come and clap for yourself and go. Immediately you leave, they will move your goods. Immediately you leave, they will move your cars. Immediately you leave, they will move your cash. Another thing that business owners need to do, we like cheap labor. But there's something called segregation of duty. You do not allow one person to be in charge of everything. That same person who is holding the checks He's the one who is determining how much we need to pay that vendor. He's the one who is cross-checking what the vendor said he has done. He's the one signing the check, and he's the one receiving the returns. Don't kill your business. Let somebody do an independent cross-check of what somebody said he has done. Because at the end of the day, every human being, if you give them the opportunity, remember we did the fraud triangle, and we said that we give the opportunity for fraud to happen. And allowing one person to start a process and end it and be the only person in charge, what you are doing is that you have given all the opportunities to steal to that person who is taking charge of your business. Closely related to segregation of duty is what we call independent reconciliation. People say, oh, we do reconciliation every Monday. It's a lie. The same person who is utilizing the items is the same person doing the reconciliation. So you write that, you want to see the figures in your books, you write it in your books for you. He will tell you that we have 1.8 million cedis in the account because we have sold 1.8. How are you counting the stock left in that supermarket to say that, okay, we brought in 2 million, we've sold 200, so there should be 1.8? How are you picking the books to go to your bank to say that, let me look at the bank statement? This week we sold 500. How much money was brought in there? So an independent person must do the reconciliation. You don't allow the same person who is in charge of operations to be doing the reconciliation. He will cook the books for you, and you'll be very happy clapping for yourself that you have enough money and your business is okay till he walks. The day you don't see him again, that is when you notice that the curtains in that wholesale are all empty. The bank account that you think that you have money in there is nothing there. Independent reconciliation. And if you don't have time to do this, there are people who will do these things for you. Surprise audit. You say, oh, audit, I'll go and audit it. If you become very predictable as a business owner, they will also predict when you come. And they will make sure that everything looks good on their way. When you come to, you notice that everything is fine from where you sit, and you clap for yourself. Meanwhile, you do not have anything. Now, in the retail shops, we mentioned the retail shops. What you need to do is to stop allowing your staff to be determining how much they sell the items. Unconsciously, we think that, if they sell my dresses at the boutique 500, I want my money. My selling price is 500. If they sell it 800, I don't care. What you need to do is to label your items and put price tags on them, because you can't be going around and asking people how much is it. One Kojo, you go with your boo nicely dressed like this. What was sold to somebody for 100 cedis 5 minutes ago will be sold to you at 800 cedis. And the next thing is that, that shop is expensive, I won't go with there again. What have you done?
I met a man yesterday. He's a professor, and he was going to Makola to buy, and he asked somebody to accompany him. And he warned him, when we go there, call me Brakweku, don't call me Prof. Because he said if the women get to know he's Prof, they will increase the price.
Yeah.
So these things happen. The shop attendants look at the customer who has come in, and they will just vary the price.
They'll vary it.
Oh, okay.
See, if I'm going to buy, I'll take off my glasses. If you wear glasses to a shop, the price will change. I'm telling you, you can check it. There are some people, when they see you, when you get out from your car, you are wearing glasses. You are even speaking English. Oh, come on. See, this, how do you call this place? Is it art center where they sell those?
Yes.
If you go and you're a Ghanaian, the price is different. If you're a foreigner, Brunei, the price is different. You see, we need to stop this. It has a whole national effect. Whether it's a regulation or something, let's have price tax on items. Why do I go there and then you unleash your greedy, shop attendant on us to determine how much they sell to us? Another thing, as a business owner, do mystery shopping. Send people, go to that place and buy this, and let me see. See, people have sent others to go and buy rice, and the type of rice brand they were selling in his own shop, he has never seen it before. Okay, when you are not there, they are having goods at the back in people's cars that they are selling. And when you come and say, I want to buy rice, they are selling their own rice and yours is there. So mystery shopping is very, very important. It's one of the solutions that we need to have. Now, I have mentioned segregation of duty. I have mentioned record keeping. I have mentioned independence reconciliation. Now, you need to conduct a lot of background checks. See, some of these people that we recruit, they have stolen from so many people and they have been dismissed in organizations, and we bring them upon ourselves. So he comes to the organization and he's coming to do the same thing, the same modus operandi. And one of the things that we do not do, which is problematic in this country, is that we don't have a lot of data on fraud that have been committed by people. If you have it and you analyze it, those ones that we receive from industry and all that, when you sit down and you analyze, you notice that there's no difference. The solutions are almost the same. If we can have a body say that this is what we have seen. We've seen cash suppression come in, about 180 reports this week. We've seen people who have run away with goods of their employers. We have seen 50 cases this week. What are their names? The same person who stole from Kojo Jansen is going to steal from Mubeti. So we don't share data. We don't even report these things. And they go around doing the same thing to people. I think we'll pause here. If people have questions, then we'll take them one after the other.
It's a good place to pause. We're going to take some messages, and when we come back, it'll be your turn. You call us, you tell us your experiences, you ask your questions. If you want to know how you can detect employee fraud, we've got the best person to answer all of your questions after these. 055 1111 997. We're talking to Ransford Nana Addo. He is a fraud examiner, certified, and he knows exactly how to catch these employees who want to defraud you and destroy your business. So call us. Let's talk about it. We have, is that Kwame? Na?
Kwame from New Bawe.
Good morning, Kwame. Do we have Kwame on the line?
I want to know whether this is just a local thing, or let's say a Ghanaian or an African thing, or it's worldwide. Because I realized a few years ago in a certain West African country, there was a similar thing happening, but in some European countries where I spent a few months working, I didn't see that.
Okay, so your question is this a Ghanaian thing or is it more global? Okay, thank you, Kwame. We'll get you an answer in a moment. Stay with us. We have Chidiak on the line from Southla. Good morning, Chidiak.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great. And you?
Not bad at all. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Let's look at it this way. The human beings are the most intelligent creature God has created, but the most reckless creature ever that lives. That is why they have made laws to guide us. Otherwise, we should have known that this is wrong and this is good. But because we are reckless. So long as we don't use the laws to punish people, all the wrongs will continue going on. First of all, can I ask, who is a high-risk driver in this country? When people go, they drive, they get accidents, they kill people, nothing is done to their license. So they go back, somebody else will give them car, they will carry the same car with a different thing, go and kill people again. So we are not helping ourselves as a nation. We have all the intelligence and we are not making use of it. These are little things that when you go outside this country to the European country, they are doing them and it's helping them. But we cannot imply them. Why? Thank you.
Thank you, Chidiak. Steve is in Tesano. Good morning, Steve.
Kojo, how are you?
I'm very well, Steve. How are you?
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate the fact that you guys are, educating people on this employee fraud thing. It's one thing that is killing businesses in this country. And so you get involved, like you really establish a business, you wouldn't understand some of these things. I would appreciate it if Joy can even come up with a program like this every time to make job owners know what is even happening in the system.
the number one thing, difficult thing in every establishment here in Ghana is the human resource, managing the human resource. See, my brother, I lost my business, I lost my job, and I started some business, a drinking spot. And you know what I found out? This employee kept telling me that business wasn't the best, and I was about losing hope in the business. But I told myself, once I've lost my job and I'm home, why don't I get involved in the running of the business myself than employing somebody to manage it for me? Later to realize that anytime my guy tells me that, oh, they are not selling, they are not buying, sorry. He brings his drinks, like he sells the drinks at the shop, replace it with his drinks. So when I come and I check my stock, the drinks that I expect to see are still there. But meanwhile, he brings his drinks to sell. Chief, you give them sell portions of meat to people. You realize that people are complaining. You go to the kitchen to check what is happening. They reduce the quantity just to sell more for the same price. And at the end of the day, the customers are unsatisfied and will never come back. My brother, there are so many things going on that job owners should know. It is not about the system or the economy that is not good or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Most time, it is from within. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for sharing that experience. Oh, my goodness. Sounds very familiar from what Ransford has been sharing with us. Daniel is in Somenya. Hello, Daniel. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for calling us.
Could you? You see, this is talking about it. I'm your resource person in city, so I today.
Daniel, it's very hard to hear you. I think you need to reposition yourself. See if we can get a clearer line because we can hardly hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, let's try again. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that this is so widespread. It is the norm. Look, where I sit now, I am a victim, not because I own the business.
Oh dear. It seems we've lost Daniel, but he has a personal experience there. Daniel, see if you can call us back, okay? We want to hear that experience of yours. In the meantime, we're going to spin text to talk to Ebu. Hello, Ebu.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Ebu.
The man is really talking well. And even this is the nation or in Africa, whereby when you even go to the washroom, people go to the washroom and take 0 away to their household. Can you just imagine? A lot are going on, and you see, such people like this will never be allowed to be in the institution to deal with this kind of corruption and this kind of things. And if we are not ready to do that, look, we will always be talking on radio, talking here and there, talk and talk. Could you know what? Let me use this opportunity to say this. If we get Joy FM, the big radio stations in Ghana here, Ghana can win in every situation. Let's say Joy FM will just come, Peace FM will come, Joy FM with your group or Peace FM with your group, all of them will just come. Look, we are sick and tired of all that is going on in Ghana. We are going for demonstration or whatever. Look, everybody will sit up in this meeting so that we will stop. The talking will be reduced. Law will just be working. Look, America or in other places where law is working, there is no chaos going on. But evil things have decreased, right? Because they are using law to work. And the man really, talking of the shoes, when we are wearing shoes, your employees will not even know you are watching them. It's very wonderful. The man is a great.
Yeah, thank you, Ebo. That's that's Ebo from Spintex. Ayana Inusa is in Suhum. Hello, good morning, Ayana. Ayana, you have to switch off your radio and listen to us only on your phone, okay?
Okay, sir. Is it okay?
No, okay. Can you hear me now? No, you are still listening to us on the radio, Ayana. Switch off the radio.
The others at the studio then.
Hello. Okay. Well, Ayana, please call us back. Switch off the radio and call us back, and let's see if we can hear you better. Derek is in Ashaiman. Hi, Derek. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Thanks for calling.
Okay. I think before we citizens or patriotic citizens, we need to consider the new danger or the issue at hand and the reason why this was imposed. Yes. Because the minister's assessment, this is necessary so that the people will be solved. So the question then is, how are we going to solve this issue? Yes, how are we going to solve it? And then I hear your panel saying that he is not even, we can't even decide whether the increase will affect the prices at the pump or not. So if
wait, Derek, which panel? What issue are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was calling the.
Okay. I think Derek may have called the wrong station there. But you can call us 0302-216-541. We're talking about employee fraud. Our guest, Ransford Nanado, has given us some great education on it. I think Ayana Inusa is back on the line. Ayana, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Go ahead. We're listening.
Thanks for a nice topic on Friday. It's not only even within the family. My father used to over 400, but then he was teaching at.
Oh, Ayana, I don't know why we're having such bad luck with your line today, but it's impossible to hear what you're saying, Ayana. Maybe you want to try one more time. We've got a little bit of time on the clock, so please try one more time. Let's see if we can get a clearer line and hear your story. We're talking about employee fraud, and Ransford Nanado is helping us understand how to spot it and how to stop it. And we have Nyamiye on the line from Tema. Hi, Nyamiye, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Nana Kojo, I hope you are doing fine.
We're very well, Nyamiye. How are you?
I'm also doing fine. Wow. I think that your guest has done fantastic, this morning. I don't know if there is something we can do about this by probably drumming home some of these things to our youngsters in our schools, so that they will grow up with certain level of integrity and honesty. That look, when somebody employs you or whatever you are doing, whether somebody is watching you or not, you just need to be honest. It's very, very important because people set up businesses and in no time the business collapses. They have to fold up and all that. And I can tell you that if we go deep into some of these things, you will realize that it is the attitude of those who are working in those organizations that have actually run those places down. And this is something we cannot blame on anybody. We have to take responsibility and we have to start somewhere so that we will imbibe in our children and everyone the need to be honest It's very important. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Nyamiye. Thanks for calling. Steve is in Ashaliboche. Hi, Steve. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
My little contribution on the topic on discussion is that a lot of Ghanaian, investors or entrepreneurs have a bit of a problem. They are ready to invest all the money in machinery and everything that makes up their organization. But the same people are not ready to invest in employing professionals who understand how to create and establish proper internal controls to check some of these excesses of workers. When they establish their businesses, they will employ family people, people they can pay coins to run the shops and businesses for them. But you see, when you establish your organization, the elements of your working capital, that is your stock, your cash, your bank balances and receivables, are your most vulnerable assets. And you must invest properly to forestall and to ensure that nobody, steals them or tampers with them. Until you are ready to invest in professional, pay them well to run the business and run your finances for you, establish proper controls, people will continue to steal from you. And I think that our business people need to learn from this. One of the most important stuff you need in your organization is a professional accountant. Once you're able to do that, you'll be able to protect your assets. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. All right, you can call us to 0302 216 541 055 1111 997. Ransford has been teaching us how to spot those who try to defraud us. Ebo is back on the line from Spintex. Hello, Ebo. Good morning.
I couldn't finish. Could you let me ask this one question? MTN is in charge of my Momo wallet and Momo whatever. Now, if my money gets lost, who is going to pay that money? Whilst I have not given my secret code to anybody, but yet my money is getting lost. I have had 3 people complaining that, their huge money is lost. So I said, go to MTN. Go and take your money back from MTN. Is that not right?
We'll get you an answer.
Thank
you. Thank you, Ebo. We'll get you an answer from Ransford. Bishop is in Asante Mampong. Hello, Bishop. Good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you, Bishop. How are you?
Anyway, sorry. Yusuf, how are you?
That's right. Yusuf for the day.
For the day. Kojo, you see, all these things about Ghanaian businesses not thriving. I would say from what we say, our elders, I grew up hearing that Abainjima, we don't carry it on our head. We put it on our shoulder. When you are tired, you shift it and it will drop. And some went to the extent that you tie a rope to it and drag it. When you are tired, you leave it. So people go into people's businesses. So we don't have that attitude that we go into business, or we are employed, and we want to make money for ourselves. Instead of letting that cow that is feeding us grow fat, get the milk, sell the milk, get calf, grow, and then you'll be getting it and improving that. Then we want just to be cutting the flesh of the cattle alive. Then one day it will left with the bones. Then all run away and leave it. So with private business, on this was same station, you remember you people made some calls about private businesses. And people said how their tricycles, their shops are being managed by people that they employ. They think that they need to help them. and they end up collapsing their businesses. So our attitude, I think, is from what we learn from the elders. We go to jobs and try to make money for our families, and then for the government, it shouldn't grow. So private business shouldn't grow. So we need an orientation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop. All right, we have time for one more call. Let's talk to Reginald in Kashiman. Reginald, you have to switch off your radio, please.
Yeah, the radio is off.
Okay, good. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So I have a personal experience where one of my, in fact, she was my business manager, and she had created her own invoice in the office and was selling products. So she uses our office, our light computers, everything, creates her own invoice, sells the product, and collects the money for herself. When it had to do with servicing, she services the items and pockets the money. So it's a very common thing that happens every day, everywhere. And the good thing is that the use of cameras solves most of these problems. And what I have realized is that in using cameras, it's not just having any camera, but you must be very specific about the camera that you install. Some can do much more, specific to be able to identify what is being stolen, or in fact, it can even view currency in your hand, the type of food, the type of food the customer is eating, etc. So these are some of the things that help to find the culprit in the office. So I think it's not just having a camera, because there are some cameras which can even follow people around. So with some of these solutions, we have to be very careful the type of solution that we select to solve the problem.
Thank you, Reginald. That's a very useful tip. We appreciate it. And we appreciate the calls from all of you. You've certainly made our show. My goodness. Okay. Ransford, they've given you quite a lot to chew on, right?
Yes, a lot.
Comments?
Very, very interesting conversation. So let me start from the last caller, Reginald. And I'm happy he mentioned that there are so many specifications that can help business people do this. So today, Kojo, there are cameras with artificial intelligence that can even learn a trend and alert you as a business owner. That there's a particular gentleman, when he comes, he goes in there, he spends about 30 minutes and he comes out with these things without going to the cashier. A camera can alert you on that. A camera can even fuse a picture that this particular person, anytime he walks into, alert me. You can fuse a picture, give a video for the camera to do that for you. You have two-way cameras that today you can listen to what is going on in the shop. The traditional one, I want camera. And then they'll go for some 920 camera, and you have to be squeezing and struggling to see what is going on there. No. There are very good cameras today that you can even listen into conversations happening in your shop. So one of the callers mentioned that we need to engage professionals. That's the last thing usually we think about. Now, he also mentioned fictitious or shell companies and receipts. I think it's one of the typologies that we see very often. That the company that you have, if it's Kojo and Sons, another person has also, your employee has also created Kojo and Sons. But the Sons, he has made the sums just with the M. And when people come to use your place for maybe a facility for entertainment and all that, they will issue the fictitious receipts and show them where to go and pay the money, pay into account or anything. So you will be sitting down thinking that business is not going on. Your employee has created fictitious receipts, fictitious company that looks like yours and is selling. In one of the event centers in this country, the business development manager had opened a similar business with the name. The difference was just a center. His was TER and the company was TRE. And he was diverting checks to to that account. So you need to be very mindful of fictitious accounts. And some of the ways that you can detect some of these things, like I mentioned, mystery shopping is not expensive. Get people there and say, hey, walk to that place and say, I want to do an event on this day, that day. Where do I pay? See where they are paying your monies to. Instead of just sitting down and assuming that this person will do the right thing, I shouldn't worry myself. I'm paying him. No, that's not enough. So let's watch out for the shell companies that our funds and our produce are diverted to. Now, Ebo mentioned that I think he's got a concern with his MTN wallet being used by somebody when he is not even aware. I think that it will be difficult to make any statement on this without going to MTN. There are times where these things have been investigated, and it is the children of the wallet owner, or otherwise it could be a staff somewhere, it could be a relative who is using it. So we're unable to comment on that. The best place to get solutions from is to report to MTN for them to have a detailed investigation into this matter. Nyamiye mentioned, we being very intentional about creating awareness on integrity. It's something that personally I have taken interest in. Even yesterday, I spoke to a Toastmasters group on integrity, whether it really matters. And schools must start having ethical programs that will reward people who decide to do what is right. The mindset, there was a question, I'll just dovetail this one in. There was a question from Kwame whether there's a Ghanaian thing, stealing from your employees a Ghanaian thing or globally. I think that globally, every business is prone to fraud. However, with what I have seen from the African Academy where I teach, I think that Ghanaians, we tolerate these things more. And our sociocultural practices like Obiye Didi Nejumaho. So you have sent your son who has finished SHS to go and work at a poultry farm. Every single day, he's bringing a sack with 2 crates of eggs in it. You don't care to know where your son is bringing this thing from. During our time, my mother will call you and ask you, you went to school with a blue pencil. Why have you come back with a black pencil? Whose pencil is this? The following, they will follow you to the school to go and ask, my son brought this pencil. I think that it is a global thing, but as Ghanaians, we have entertained it and we don't deal with it. See, as a professional investigator, all these years, one of my biggest problems is when you have finished doing your work and has identified whoever has been stealing, and at the end of the day, you will get calls from pastors, imams, chiefs, who will wear their beautiful clothes and come and tell you that, you know something, Mumfan Cheno. And how many times will people Yemfan Chenipa? If we do not see, can you imagine the number of businesses that have collapsed? The number of employees who have to be sent home because the business is no longer functional. We have not had a culture of deterrent to deal with these matters. Even in some police stations, this one, go and settle it among yourself. So we have not deterred people enough. That is how come somebody will come to this country and set up a poultry farm, and somebody is stealing more than 10 crates of eggs every day. And it takes about 2 years to detect. And the next thing is that you run to the chief to come and beg for you. You run to the pastor to come and beg for you. You run to the mosque for the imam to come and beg for you. And then they will all call you and say, "Oh, the asemcha on fashion chair." So what is the deterrent? If I am not caught, let me continue riding my hobby horse. If I am caught, let me cry and call all people who matter to come and sit in and beg. What happened to our laws? Because they are killing businesses. What happens to the investor? And those people who decide to have a no-nonsense approach towards these states, you are called names. Because we need to understand that when these things happen, businesses are collapsing, businesses are dying, and we need to have a no-nonsense approach towards some of these things. Now, I think that there was a question about whether it's a Ghanaian thing. I've dealt with it. Everywhere that there is business, so far as you have business, something will attract people to come and steal from, including your employees. However, the language and the tone of the leader and the owner of the business, it matters a lot. Ask yourself, how come some people can go and steal from elsewhere and get away with it? Some people, you can't go and steal from them. Because already you'll be told that man over there, he doesn't joke with his business. And immediately you do that, the police will come in and come and carry you and all your items away. So let's quickly look at some of the things that we left behind. Kojo, when it comes to some of the things that we see as there is fire, there is an accident, there is fire, there is an accident, I can tell you that there are cases that some employees steal the goods and intentionally set fire. There are distribution vans that get accident and you see about 5 crates of items pour because they have gone to sell those items before intentionally staging the accident. What we need to do is to put trackers in these vehicles. When they stop, ask yourself, where are they stopping and why are they stopping? And when there are accidents of this nature, you need to employ professionals to investigate and ask all the questions. Kojo, wrapping up, I think that whistleblowing is something that we have not taken serious. You need to let the whole world be your ears and your eyes. That van that is driving in town, leave a number on it and say that in case you see something untoward, call this number. So that everybody who is walking on the street becomes your fraud police, becomes your police. And then that you see a truck driver go to park somewhere, remove all these items on Monday, on Tuesday they set fire in the truck. People saw it, but see no evil and talk no evil. Now, let's walk through the behavioral red flags again. Yesterday, I had some questions that I rushed through them too quickly. Kojo, people who steal from you, globally, they show some symptoms. The employees who steal from their business owners, they show some symptoms. The very first one, they usually live beyond their means. So when you have an employee whose lifestyle changes all of a sudden and is living big, has gone to buy a car in a very short time, and if you look at how much you pay him and even multiply it by 5, he shouldn't be able to afford that car. Get closer and ask, where did you get this money from? Check whether he went to take a loan or anything. These people do not want to share their duties. If you ask them that we are transferring you to the Tema branch so that you go and take care of that, even if it's a promotion, they won't go. Don't think that they are being stubborn. They know why they won't go. Because immediately they leave the Newtown branch and go to Tema branch, you uncover something. They don't want to go on leave. I have seen people who have had accidents in clutches and they will come to work. And we will plot them and say that these are the very hard-working people. They work hard. They come very early. Even if they are dying, they love work so much. They don't love the work.
They are not hard-working.
They are protecting their interests.
They are smart thieves.
Yes. So watch that. Now, one of the characteristics we've seen, the symptoms, people who are constantly in financial difficulties. If you have an organization and you have some employees who is paid by 24th in 2 days' time, Charlie, can you borrow me some money? Can I get some 2,000 for? Constantly they are in need of money. The next thing is that they'll feast on your business. Some of these people have genuine reasons to be in need. It happens. Once in a while it happens. But those who are constantly in need, either somebody is blackmailing them, either they are addicted to something, or they are in gambling and they are always owing people. The next place to look at is your business. They'll chop it dry.
About 3 weeks ago, we interviewed Charity Dupont, and she said somebody was stealing from her in the business. They caught the person. They asked the person to pay back. Then the person comes to her in the office to ask for a loan to pay back. So that's a simple.
Yes. Yes. So now we also mentioned that another symptom, these guys can be crazy in the level of closeness with your customers and your vendors. They can go to customers and go and strike deals without your knowledge. And they will fight anybody who tries to say anything about these customers.
Is that not customer service?
No, that's unusual closeness with the customer. That is dangerous.
Okay.
You should have a way of speaking to your customers behind your employees. It was when the business owner called and said that, congratulations, you came to buy some 7 dresses from my boutique. 7. I bought 20. That was when the business owner decided to speak to a customer. Meanwhile, on his records, it's only 7. So speak to your customers. Do not allow your managers alone to be talking to your customers. Once in a while, it is your business. Speak to your customers. Now, these people also have wheeler-dealer attitude. They are connection people. Even if you give them 200 cedis to get your iPhone 15, they know where to get it. Where are they able to know that if I have 200 cedis, if I go to Tiptoe Lane, this corner, I'll get some? Either they are dealing with people who are like them, and they are connection people, and they can get anything, even including human parts, at a very affordable price. Watch those people. They have secret movement. They come to work, they get some phone calls, they decide to go to the washroom. Every time they get phone calls, they go to the washroom. Warning sign. They ask too many questions about the loopholes in the business. This camera here, is it working? Why are we installing so many cameras? Why is anybody suspecting anybody? There was a filling station they were installing cameras. And the supervisor was upset. Where is the power source? He won't show. Within a week, they caught him with the same cameras. So these are the warning signs. And we need to protect
How
business.
do people steal in filling stations anyway? Because the pumps are calibrated. If I sell 1,000 liters, I'll know. So how do people steal?
Oh, you see, yesterday we spoke about collusion.
Collusion.
There are companies who have given, fuel cards to their employees and drivers and all that. And the fuel attendants and the managers are those who are siphoning from these cards. So it may not necessarily come from what we learned 2 days ago from the business owner, but they are doing it in collusion with some people against the customer. So they will fight anybody who would come to install anything to expose them. Finally, Kojo, data. We talk about, my money, my items have been stolen. Data. When employees decide to harvest your data, give it to your competitors or sell the data, is a very dangerous fraud category. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, goodness, that was a masterclass, and we really appreciate it. Ransford, we have to do more of these. There's so much that we can learn in order to protect ourselves, our businesses, and so forth. So let this be perhaps the beginning of several conversations on these topics. Ransford Nanado.
Always welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.